Hey sisters and brothers, this is Dave Schneider. I'm running for president of Teamsters Local 512 on the 512 Teamsters United slate. I'm joined here by my sister Faith Jackson, who's running as our recording secretary candidate. Faith has been the chief steward up here at the GS4 New Berlin bus yard for many years. She has been driving for about 18 years as a school bus driver, and recently she sat on our union's bargaining committee for the GS4 contract with Student Transportation of America. Faith, thanks for joining me here. I got a couple of questions. First, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your background and give you a bit of an intro, but let's hear it from you.
You're right. Just like you say, I've been with the bus company now for 18 years. I'm also the chief steward. And basically, I come here and me and Ramon Turner, we are both as a team, we both as one. So when people have problems, they know if they come to us, most of the time, their problems are solved.
Yeah, I'll say that. I know that from experience talking with people up here at this bus yard. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you all had the highest union percentage of any bus yard in our local union up here in New Berlin.
Yes, that is correct.
That's incredible. And I mean, it's a sign of how effective y'all have been as stewards. Well, Faith, you, me, Ramon, a number of other people, we've been out at a lot of bus yards since this whole thing started. And I know we have heard a lot of the same complaints, especially at the 6 STA yards. What all has stood out to you?
Basically, everything that stood out to me overall was the pay. No matter what bus yard we go to, everybody got a problem about their pay issues. And when it's time to get their pay issues straightened out, no one's there to represent them to straighten their pay out. I'm not a steward at their yard, but they still feel comfortable to reach out to a steward that they heard that can get the job done.
No kidding, yeah, and you, correct me if I'm wrong, you filed a lawsuit actually over unpaid wages at one point when the union wasn't picking up the slack on that, wasn't representing the members.
Yes, that's correct. We had 106 drivers we had to file because people that was having payroll issues wasn't getting addressed by the union as it's supposed to. So with me being the chief steward, Ramon came to the conclusion that this must be done. So I filed the suit.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Well, you know, I'll just say this. One thing I've learned about the bus world of our local union is, you know, this company, STA, that's been buying up all these yards over the last couple of years, they've really been aiming to drive standards down. Now, you and Ramon and all the New Berlin drivers and all the drivers off the Commonwealth yard, you guys were part of First Student, a company that had a national master agreement for many years. When STA came in about a year ago and took over, bought out those yards, in fact, granted they didn't start up here until the new school year, but what was that changeover like? What all of you noticed?
Well, basically, I noticed that STA is not family oriented. They don't like nothing about the union. Anytime you try to go up against them or talk or even tell them your problem, it's always pushed up under the rug.
Yeah, I certainly experienced that here too, and I've seen that when we've been out campaigning and talking to drivers and monitors. Now, Faith, you served on the bargaining committee with Ramon Turner, you know, the First Student bus yards that got taken over by STA. STA didn't want to honor the First Student contract. It was up for rebargaining. You all sat in on the committee. Talk to me a little bit about how that whole process went.
Well, you know, First Student during that time had the highest pay rate on most of the buses in Duval County. So when we wanted to continue to have the same thing that was laid down by First Student, it wasn't presented well. It was presented up on a lower rate than we initially asked for.
The union presented it like that?
Correct.
That's incredible. Just already going to the table and asking for less than what you already had guaranteed in the First Student contract. It's incredible. Well, as bargaining went on, you and Ramon were fighting for a safe reopening. You were fighting to maintain the high standards that you had in the First Student contract. Over time, I know that there was just a vote on the contract, but what happened with y'all in the bargaining committee?
Well, we was on the bargaining committee all the way up until once we start campaigning and once we switched sides and say we were gonna run for a different office, a different position, we was no longer on the bargaining committee.
Yeah, you got pretty much blindsided by the fact that the company was given a last, best, and final offer.
Correct.
And it wasn't just you either. The members pretty much were blindsided also. You want to talk a little bit about that vote that happened a couple weeks ago?
Right. The members wasn't given was only given a couple of hours of view. So a lot of points that was missed, they didn't have time to go over the whole thing. So everything that was highlighted was the only part that went over. And if you throw certain things out here to people that already was getting paid lower, of course the man was going to take it, not knowing everything that was in the book, because they didn't give it a week or so to read it.
That's wild. Yeah, we had about a month to review our contract at UPS before we went to a meeting to ask questions, before we voted. Now, I'll say this, obviously a hot topic right now. We have a lot of school bus drivers, members who are on the front lines of the school reopening, who are at a very high risk of contracting COVID-19. I know a lot of drivers have already, and they've not been informed when they've had kids who tested positive on the bus. You, Ramon, and a number of other very conscientious, very active Teamsters blew the whistle on STA for not enforcing safety provisions. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, they came out with this plan that supposed to protect the drivers and the monitor, but the plan wasn't effective enough. The monitor was still left out in the open to be infected. Basic things we asked for, like a shield to be put around the driver, that could have been put in place, but it really wasn't enforced. It really wasn't up for bargaining.
That's incredible. Well, you all talked to the media too, did a number of interviews, and actually brought some spotlight on STA dodging their obligations on COVID safety, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the kind of thing that's important, because y'all are on the front lines. Well, Faith, do you have anything kind of in conclusion you want to talk to, our drivers, our monitors, and our mechanics?
Yes, I just want the monitors, the drivers, and the mechanic to know that with this company, they're going to refuse to pay you correctly like they've been doing for a number of years. I just want to let you know that if you're paid not right, Faith Jackson got your back.
All right, well, folks, that's exactly why Faith Jackson's running on 512 Teamsters United. She's going to make history as the first school bus Teamster to sit on our local union's executive board, and she's going to make one hell of a business agent for the school bus yards. Monitors, drivers, mechanics, we are going to be fighting for you. Union power.